What's up, my friends? This is Jeremy back from Budget Dad Barbecue and Brewing. I have got something cool to show you. I'm in my garage right now. Check out my new toy. Here it is, my friends. The Blackstone 28-inch griddle with foldable locking legs, independent zones 1 and 2, industry leading, go anywhere, easy setup, ready to go. The gentleman I bought this off of said that his wife had bought this for him quite a while ago, and it was just a little too big for his needs. He wanted the smaller tabletop version, and so it's just been sitting in his garage. I did open up the box briefly just to take a quick look to see if it was all in there, and it appeared that nothing had been tampered with. So let's crack this open. Wow, lots of pieces, you guys. Oh, sweet. Okay. Oh, whew, that griddle is heavy. Man, oh man, this weighs a ton. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Okay, we've got everything out of the box here for the most part, so let's take a look and see what we've got. We've got our griddle. We've got what appears to be maybe the bottom plate. We've got our main unit, or I don't know what you would call this, the carriage or whatnot. We've got our side table. At least I think that's a side table. I could be wrong. And we've got our parts, just a few. What appears to be a grease pan. Again, a couple parts, casters, handle. That looks pretty easy. I gotta say I'm pretty pleased, because if this is the only thing I have to deal with, then I am going to be a happy camper putting this thing together. So this is really all we got. Let's take a look at the instruction manual. We've got, looks like a decal or something, Griddle More, Blackstone. I don't think I'm going to use that, it's kind of cheesy, but hey, if you're into it. Register your Blackstone now. Oh, that's great. I will definitely do that. I've learned this lesson in the past, my friends. Go ahead and hit this code and register things just in case something goes wrong. We've got our instruction manual that reads in Spanish and French for Canadians, I assume, and English. Looks like we got some instructions on seasoning, and we will go ahead and follow those, and we'll do that together as well. Oh, recipes for lunch and dinner, Oklahoma fried onion burger. I'm into that. I'm gonna put the camera up on the tripod, and then we'll just walk through this together. All right, so step one is basically turn this thing upside down and put the wheels on. Let's do that right now. All right, that was threaded pretty well. Let's put on the other one. All right, next up, we are going to attach the bottom tray. Looks like we're going to use the long screw for this side, and we're going to use the medium screw for the side with the wheels. And we're also going to attach that propane tank hanger. Here is the propane tank hanger. Let's go ahead and pop this on. Nice and snug. Okay, now it says to go ahead and turn it right side up, and we are going to attach the shear pin and the cotter pin to attach the upper propane tank hanger to the left leg assembly. Step 4, we are going to install those two control knobs by pushing them into place in the off position. Okay, that feels good. Next up, we're going to secure that side shelf. We are going to loosen 2 of those screws that are already on, and then we're going to take 2 more of our own screws, and we're going to tighten that up. Okay. Feels pretty good. Step 6 says to use 4 of those M6 12 screws and 4 M6 nuts to install that side handle to the right side of the grill body. Let's do that now. Nice. So last part of this assembly says that we need to put the griddle top on the top, aligning the 4 pins to the holes, making sure that the front pins are fully seated, and then push the griddle top back to lock the griddle in place. And then we just hang the grease cup. Well, all in all, I would say that was pretty painless. If you've got 1 to 2 people, I would give yourself a solid hour, but it shouldn't take you any longer than that to put this together. As you can see, there was only a few parts. The instructions were really clear. I had no problems putting this together. Okay, time is ticking. Let's go ahead and get this thing up to the backyard, hook some propane up to it, and get this seasoned. All right, you guys, we are in the backyard and it is seasoning time. I read the instructions and they essentially said to crank this thing up full heat until it starts to discolor. Once it discolors, you put about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil. It did not specify which oil. So for today's purposes, I'm going to be using grapeseed oil, salad tongs, a paper towel so that we can rub that down with, and in my case, a glass of wine. Let's get this thing fired up. Okay, we are probably around 10 to 15 minutes in. I could see a lot of discoloration, mainly to the right center. To the left, not so much. That may have to do with how the flame travels. You know, I don't think I'm gonna get a whole lot more out of this, so I'm gonna throw down that oil right now. All right, the smoke has subsided quite a bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a second coat on. Smoke is dying down quite a bit, so let's give that a third coating. Okay, smoking has subsided, so I'm gonna do one last small coat. All right, you guys, well, it is getting pretty cold. Clearly this was not optimal weather to do this, but I didn't expect the wind and the cold to roll in this quickly. But that's okay, you know what? We've got 4 coats on this. I don't see any pooling. It appears that everything's burnt off. I put those nice thin layers of grapeseed oil. So far, I'm pretty pleased. I wish I would have gotten a little bit more darkening on the edges, but considering the temperature out here today, that's okay. I think once we start to get more food, more burgers on this, it'll just naturally season. I'm gonna turn this off right now. We'll come back in a little bit and I will attempt to make some smash burgers on this thing. I'm excited about it. We'll see you back in a little bit. What's up, everybody? We are back. It is cold and windy and miserable, and I didn't expect this to happen, but you know what? That's okay. We are dedicated to the cause. Let's go ahead and do this. This is my first time doing smash burgers on a griddle, so please be forgiving. I'll show you what I got going on right here. I've got some loosely packed 80% ground beef that I made into small little meatballs I'm gonna throw on here. Got some finely grated onions. I've got American cheese. I've got some seasoning salt. I've already seasoned one side with this. And before I throw these down, I'm gonna go ahead and put a little, I can't believe it's not butter down, just to give it a little bit more butteriness. I've got my little handy dandy Inkbird, so as you can see, probably not, but it's around 450.3 right towards the center. And it starts to get a little bit cooler as you move out. So I'm gonna try to center this a little bit. We'll see how it goes. First, we're gonna throw down some of this. I can't believe it's not butter. Handy dandy smasher. Let's try this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're gonna go ahead and let some of those onions caramelize. I know the kids don't really like onions, but I really do, so I figured at least a few of them will have some onions on them. Next up, we're gonna throw some American cheese and we'll let that melt. All right, we're done with that batch. Let's go ahead and throw these down. All right, so these are looking pretty done. I'll go ahead and cut the heat. We'll take them inside and then we'll start to assemble our burgers. All right, you guys, keeping it simple today. I threw down some mustard, some mayo, some pickles, some tomatoes. Let's check this out. I'm really looking forward to these caramelized onions. I'm gonna show you what this looks like here. Do a review, brah. You could have toasted this if you wanted to, but you know, just an extra step I don't want to deal with right now. Whoa, that is delicious. It's gooey, cheesy. I love pickles, so that goes perfect. The freshness of the tomato. That is slamming, you guys. This is phenomenal. The smash burgers are absolutely delicious. The caramelized onions, the browned beef, the crispness that it gets was off the chain. I really can't believe how different the flavor is when you do it on a griddle. I cannot wait until this thing continues to season up. I can imagine that as it does, the burgers and the flavor that it imparts is gonna be even better. Man, what a day. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Everything from going out into the garage, putting this thing together, getting it seasoned, and then throwing some smash burgers down tonight. I had a great time. I hope you did too. I'm gonna call it a night at this point. and we're gonna get these burgers served up to my family because I know they're getting hungry and it is dinner time. All right, so you guys know the drill. If you like this video, if you were halfway entertained, click that like button, subscribe. And if not, that's okay too. I'm not gonna judge you. We'll see you next time. One more bite.